People, welcome back to our YouTube channel, and thank you so much for joining the channel today. So today I want to talk about something very sensible, and I just had a one-on-one appointment with somebody, so I think it's imperative for me to share these details here so that somebody else should know what is happening. Apparently the person was trying to ask where she can move. According to her, a lot of people have eaten her millions and she is tired and intend to move abroad, but she doesn't know how to go about it. Now, if you are in this same category, or if you belong to this same group, and if you are looking for opportunities to immigrate abroad, then watch this YouTube video till the end, and make sure you check the YouTube channel and watch other videos so you equally understand what you need to do. If you are new to my channel, my name is Milton. Welcome back to our channel. For our old subscribers, please, if you are new, do not forget to do two things for me: like this video and also subscribe on the channel. Let me start by explaining some things to you so you get the point. A lot of people do not understand a lot of things about this traveling abroad, and most people actually do not really have the time and do not understand how research is done. Now, in case you want to move abroad, I want to tell you that the easiest visa you can ever get, or the easiest visa you need to immigrate abroad, is, or you can get to immigrate abroad, the easiest, that's the fastest, the easiest you can get to move abroad, with a lot of advantages and of course a lot of other good things attached to it, is the study visa. Now, why do I say it is the study visa? Of course, the visa officer, it doesn't matter the country in which you want to apply, they already know that you want to go and study, and they need to process your visa, and your school have a timeline it has to start. Now, depending on when you submit the visa application, that is how they are going to process it. So submitting your study visa application on time is going to give you a lot of advantages to actually move to the country in which you are applying for, depending on the requirements you have been asked to submit. Now, if you want to move to Canada, I want to draw your attention to the fact that I'll be using Canada as a case study. And please remember that for you to study in Canada, you need to first of all apply to a college. Then when you get your admission offer letter, maybe if it's a university, you apply for your visa or you pay your tuition deposit. But most universities do not ask for tuition deposit. But if it's a community college, you can now pay your deposit depending on the college. If it's a college in New Brunswick, or maybe in Alberta, or maybe in another place, they may charge you 500, 1,000 euros, maybe 2,500, maybe 5,000, depending on the college and where it is located. Now, when you get the admissions, you will pay this money. Then they will now give you what is called a LOA, letter of acceptance. Or even if they are not giving you, you can now go ahead and apply for your visa. This is the first stage you need. Like I said, this is the student visa, and this is the pathway you need. Now, when you apply for your visa, you get what is called a student visa to Canada. When you enter Canada, you are going to get what is called a student permit. Permit is the document that gives you access to stay in the country for long, more than 90 days. In Europe, it is not the same. It is a student visa to a study permit, but in Europe it might be a national D visa, it might be a different type of visa, but of course a study visa. The student visa gives you access to work in a lot of countries. Not all countries allow students to work, but as a student you have an advantage to work over a lot of others with different visas, because the country understand that you have bills to take care of, you have your studies to take care of, and a whole lot of other things. So this is the advantage. Now, the student visa will be processed quickly, and because of these advantages, when you finish your school, you can now transition to other pathways. In the case of Canada, when you are a student, when you finish the program, you can now apply for what is called the postgraduate work permit, what we commonly call PGWP. Then when you apply for this, they are going to give you the work permit. You work for maybe 1 year, 2 years, 3 years or more. Then after that, you apply for what is called PR, which is permanent residency. Now remember, with the permanent residency, it means you can stay in Canada for as long as you want. But another pathway or another level is the level of the citizenship, which you can apply after 2 or 3 years, depending on where you are. So this is the advantage of a student visa to Canada. Remember, you have to apply as early as possible in order, if you really want to migrate to Canada, you have to apply as early as possible, because sometimes when you submit late application, it is a problem. And remember, submitting your application early also gives you an upper hand to get your visa early. Now, we have talked about the student visa. Other visas are available that a lot of people will use to confuse you, but trust me, the student visa is the best visa now as I'm talking to you. Even in Europe, it is still the best. There are other visas like visit visas, tourist visas, Schengen visas, maybe one type of visa like that. But if it's not a visa that will last for more than 90 days, you are in serious problem. So before you even start thinking about applying for a school, that is, you want to use a student visa pathway, you first of all need to get a calculator and sit down. Look at the money you have, check about the tuition fee, look at how much total you have, look at who can sponsor you. For example, if you want to move to Finland, you need to have money in your own personal bank account as your sponsor. You can get money from your sponsor, but the money must be in your bank account. If you want to go to Switzerland, you need a guarantor, or you need the money in your bank account, or transfer to a bank in Swiss in your name. This is how the process is. If you want to go to Austria, you need somebody to give you money, or your own money must be in your own personal bank account. And that is how you print the bank statement and show evidence of everything and transaction history. If you want to go to a place like Canada, you can still have money in your bank account, or you can still have a sponsor. But having money in your own bank account at least speaks a lot about you, because now the visa officer might think that, though remember, visas do not work on emotions. They are just going to be working with documents submitted and what you have been doing for over the years. So please put this into consideration. If you really want to move, get a calculator, sit down and calculate your money. When you know how much you need, for the case of Canada, you need your entire tuition fee. The reason why I will not say a 1-year tuition fee is this. According to IRCC, which is the government website for Canada, you need your 1-year tuition fee. But what if you are going for a 2 years program and you are the one sponsoring yourself, and at the end of the day you are telling IRCC that you have just 1-year program, and there is no document nowhere to show them that when you study for this 1 year, you are going to raise money from somewhere to sponsor your 2nd-year program. If you cannot show this, you are not able to show this, it means that when you move to Canada, you study for 1 year, your money will finish and there will be no one to assist you to go in for the 2nd year for the program. So you need to show them all your entire tuition fee so that they don't start calculating you negatively. I hope you understand. When you've calculated the money for your tuition, you now sum it to the living cost money, because living cost is not something to negotiate on. Okay, living cost is something everybody must have. According to the government now, it is 20,635. Then you add what is called extra money, flight ticket money, miscellaneous money, or miscellaneous. We call it miscellaneous. You add $5,000 to it. Then maybe you can this is your proof of funds now. Then you increase the money a little bit. Now, who are the sponsors? If you do not have the money, you already know how much you need. If you do not have this money, now is the time for you to start looking for who can sponsor you. And for Canada, only your father, your mother, brother or sister, to an extent your auntie and uncle. Even your friend cannot give you money. How will you justify that? So at the end of the day, when you look at who is your sponsor, you now start gathering the documents and looking at documents to prove home ties. This is how Canada operates. And I want to tell you that if you follow this system, do the calculation, then you sit down and decide. As soon as you get results on how your sponsorship details are going to be like, or is going to be like, you now launch an application, apply to a school, then maybe 1 month, 2 months, or maximum 1.5 months, you get the offer, then you apply for visa on IRCC. In this case, you have the money in your bank account, you have control over the money. Nobody is going to eat your money again. This is something a lot of people do not understand, and I'm here to open your eyes to it. Guys, you always have to be strategic, okay? Any other visa, people will tell you that, okay, we will do work visa for you, we will do skilled visa for you. There are a lot of things. If it's not a study visa, if it's not a visit visa, if it's not a PR visa, okay, Then if it is not, there is one particular visa, working visa, student visa, I talk about PR, visit visa as well. These 4 visas for Canada, if it's not, there is nothing they are talking about. Even the one they call skilled visa is a work visa. And for you to get a working visa, you need to use a working contract to apply for it. Did you get a contract from the company? Did the company send a letter to you, your approval letter for the contract? You sign it, and did they sign it? If they don't show you any of these documents, guys, I'm sorry, it is not true. And again, like I said, the easiest visa to use and immigrate abroad is the student visa. So you may have to consider this and look at their finance before you go into most programs. I hope this video acts as an eye opener to those of us who keep running up and down that we want to do. I understand there are a lot of things I cannot say here, but please make sure you put in everything you can in order to achieve something. I hope this video helps you. Till we meet again in another one.